Goodness gracious, we are live once again in familiar environs. Everyone, how on earth are you? How is it going? What is new? No ice cream elephant here. We are in the frozen north once again. Oh, it's nice to be back in the studio. Nice to have a bit more control over the environment. We are back. How has everyone been? Hopefully, you've been doing well, and you're ready to return to the BNI-verse, because we are about to revisit a language we haven't seen much of on stream lately, which is the place where it all started, Justamija Qal. Okay, let's see what we have in the chat. Maddie, yet we're pulling it from the depths of the ocean. There's not going to be any rotting skeleton. Well, there are still going to be a lot, but one fewer rotting skeleton on the ocean floor. And ooh, HD. Yes. A little HD. Please make the live stream about Chinese language and characters again. Yes. I have it on my to-do list. To go back to, well, we have a few projects. One which is classical Chinese, and one which is the Let's Reconstruct Middle Chinese, for which we will need Quain's help. But sometime in the next little while, perhaps we can get Quain back on stream and we can do some more reconstruction. And let's see, what else is going on? Let me ask Lucy. Lucy? How does everything look? How does everything sound? Are we good? Are we good to go into some segments? I'll wait here and see what the chat is doing. Chat, what's new with you? What have you been up to over the past little while? Yay. Stream looks dark, says Lucy. All right. Do you want me to change something? I can change the brightness. There's YouTube chat, although it does kind of come in weird in spurts. All right. So Lucy, just tell me what to change on the settings, and I will change it. But hopefully we won't take too long, because we have all these nice people. All these nice people waiting for us. All right. The donkey's hard at work. That's right, Chip. Yeah, well, here we are on a wired connection, which is a great help. Withdrawing from A levels tonight. Okay, I don't know what A levels are. I think it's like one of those things in Harry Potter. One of the tests. I know there are A levels. I've heard A levels, O levels, and GCSE or C, something like that. I don't know, but whatever level those things are and correspond to, I wish joy and peace and freedom from worry about tests. O levels aren't a thing anymore. Well, okay, one down, the rest to go. GCSC. See, I always hear GCSC, and I think GCSC, but presumably that E is like evaluation or something. I don't know. Yes. All right. Let's see what Lucy says. Down contrast. Okay. The contrast is going down until we can buy a new camera. Until that's in the stream budget, we are going to be. We can make do with fiddling with the existing camera, because I think it does a good job once you take away its auto everything. All right. All right, Lucy, how's that? I put the contrast down. Sorry, everyone. We will have this We got it all sorted beforehand, but it looks like there's some difference when we're actually live. Down white balance, up brightness. Okay, hopefully we can just get this over with very quickly. Down white balance. How much down? There we go. That's a lot down. And then up brightness. Maybe like that. Thoughts, Lucy? I think we're going to be boring our friends, so we should probably finish with this quickly. Okay, let's go. So, here we are. Lucy says that'll do. So, let's get into a segment, shall we? Let's welcome YouTube. YouTube, welcome back. We are in our familiar environment once again, and we are going to work on something fairly familiar. We are going to work on the language Justamija Qal. Yes, that's right. Where it all began, we are returning to the scene of the crime, to the first offense, Justamija Qal. All right, let's go. Let's skedaddle over to the side webcam. Well, don't you think if there is a bit of blueness to the background, the mustard, I think, ooh, mustard and blue, it's kind of like orange and blue. That's kind of like cool cinematic lighting. I don't know. Maybe that's right. All right, so here we go. And we can always change the settings in between segments, but I'm not going to do it now. All right, so here are our materials for Justamija. We have Cornelius Q. Spratt's grammar, which we worked on like a year ago, if you can believe it. And see, last edit 22 minutes ago, and then before that, May 31st and February 24th. Wow. It's been a while. Okay. All right. It's been a while. What can I say? So we're going to work on this a little bit today. We're going to work on, well, we have a lot to fill in. So without too much further ado, I think what we should do is see what we have for text. So for Justamija, we have, as far as I can tell, one text, which is the folktale Chaska Papayawi, and the raven and the swan. And so I think what we need to do is work on a second text, which we can use to generate some new examples. So let's get a second text. This is where it all began. This is so long ago. Let's work on a second text. And we can do this in, let's make a new segment in here. So texts, and then we can call it, I don't know, folktales. And then we can put something in here, Chaska Papayawi. And eventually we will, or maybe not so eventually, we can just get this all in, paste unlinked. Nope. This is going to turn into another Colin struggles with technology thing if I do that, so no. We'll fill that in later. Let's come up with another folktale. Folktales. Let's go to see what we have. If anyone hasn't seen this website before, this is a gem of the early internet. Look at this. Look at this copyright. 1996. If you find something on the internet that is from 1996 originally, you're going to have a good time. All right. So let's see what we have. Air castles. Air castles sound fun. Let's see if we can find something. And look, this is like handcrafted HTML. Let's see what we have here. Maybe there's something that Air castles. I just love this idea of air castles. But I want something with a bird in it. Here we go. Ooh, this is a bit long. A bit long. Let's see if we can find a shorter one. All right. The lad and the fox. Let's try it. We can at least get a little bit down the path. So there was once upon a time a little lad who was on his way to church, and when he came to a clearing in the forest, he caught sight of a fox who was lying on the top of a big stone fast asleep, so that the fox did not know the lad had seen him. Okay. There's a lot here. So what do we need to do in order to make this happen? We need our lexergy. We need our lexicon. And I think the grammar can go off to the wayside for the moment. Yeah, mid-late 90s internet. Good stuff. So I'm assuming we don't have a word for fox. So let's get the chat involved. Let's get some viewer participation because it worked so well for our other language families. I'm going to get the phonology of the proto-language up. So here is the phonology of the proto-language. Here's what we need to know. Or here's what we need to do. We need to generate some roots with this shape. So let's generate, let's see what we're going to need. Just off the top of our heads, we're going to need a word for, just going to write them down here, for fox, some kind of once upon a time thing, unless we already have it in the, yeah, we don't have it. So let's get ourselves a once upon a time. We need a word for lad, so some sort of boy. And I'm assuming we have something for little. Oh, we do not. Interesting. Okay. So we're going to need a word for little. We don't have a lot. All right. So I'm seeing some suggestions. Let's get some in the chat. And I'm not going to assign the meanings yet. I'm just going to get them. Mayu, Pokwama, Huiti, Huami, Yalasu. Huami and Yalasu. Thank you. Okay. So now, let me just make sure we've got everything done nicely in IPA. It's very hard to type in IPA, but Lexergy is going to complain if we don't use it. So let's see. Are our rules going to work? Let's take a look. They are. Okay. Good. So Mayu becomes Mayi. Pokwama becomes Purum. Huiti becomes Hidi. Huami becomes Himi. And Yalasu becomes Yalzi. Great. So in the orthography, we would have Mayi, Purum, Hidi, Himi, and Yalzi. All right. Great. Okay, so 3 words for us to choose from. Let's start our translation, shall we? We can get this over here. No, maybe we should get this over here. And I think we might need more screen real estate. Let's just take the text, put it down here. Control Great. There was once upon a time a little lad who was on his way to church, and when he came to a clearing in the forest, he caught sight of a fox who was lying on top of a big stone fast asleep, so that the fox did not know the lad had seen him. We're going to have to do some rephrasing here. Yeah, how do you say once upon a time in Qal? In Justamija Qal. Often these story opening formulaic phrases are kind of interesting. So, we get a chance to be creative there. Okay. How does the grammar for Justamija work? Let's see what we have. So we know that relative clauses precede nouns. We know that the standards of comparison precede the state of verbs. We know that adverbs of time precede the verbal element. And we know that Justamija is an SOV language. But we don't know a great deal else, at least in this document. Okay. So Justamija Qal Quain is mostly head final. When the birds couldn't fly, there was a time where, oh, these are really good. These are really good. When owls and chickens lived together. Oh, I kind of like that. I kind of like that. Let's see if we can translate when owls lived with chickens. All right. When owls lived with chickens. Owl. Surely we have a word for owl. I could have sworn we had a word for owl. Do we have one in Lenadila for something? Excuse me briefly. I'm going to come talk to you while I search for the Lenadila sheet. Head finality is generally the situation in the Qal languages, but to varying degrees in each language. And you know what's nice? I have a chair. I have this chair which I can swing back and forth on. These are the sort of small things in life that you appreciate. Lenadila. All right, let's see. Do we have owl? We do. We do. We have a root quanamo. Quanamo. All right, let's go back to the side webcam. Quanamo. Qanamu. Qanamu. So when owls lived with chickens, maybe we could say. When owl, chicken with live. I believe we have a past prefix. Right. I think when will come first. Let me double check. It's been a long time, friends. It's been a long time. No, we have all these complicated verb endings. How did these work? How did these work? Let's see if we have anything like when. Pardon me while I'm silent here, friends. I am looking to see if we have anything when-like to go off of. It does not appear so. Do we have anything here? No. So it looks like we're going to have to use our conditional. One of our conditionals. Just the question is which one? Which one? One is a, yes, one is an if x then y kind of conditional. And one is something more hypothetical. I'm going to take Quain's suggestion and look at Linnaeus to see, because we did a lot more work in Linnaeus. Okay. The War of the False Owl. This was good stuff. Wow. Huh. Friends, I can't see anything about these conditionals in here. I cannot see them. So we have to remember which conditional was which. And this is why, all right, this is why you always document. Don't do what I do. Don't fall into the trap that I've fallen into here. Always document. All right. Let's continue. I almost feel like I'm going to have to go into go into the old videos and look. Do we have any guidance here whatsoever? Conditional 1, conditional 2. Conditional 1, conditional 2. No. Okay. I'm seeing Quain says conditional 1. Oh, Emily. Okay, Emily first. When you cross the river has conditional 1. Okay, so let's write down here when. Now, knowing that they're not strictly when and if, but this is the one that we can use to translate as when. It can also be translated as if. And this is like the counterfactual, I believe. Okay, so conditional 1, when. So this adds doch to the word. So let's go down here. Folktales. All right, so then all we need is conditional 1 on the end. And we have our little phrase. So owls. When owls live with chickens. So, kalamu. We need a word for chicken. Do we have one? No. Do we have one here? This is like a constant... no. This is like a constant realization that past Colin was a real piece of work. All right. I'm going to just check the chat because I think we saw... I think there's something here. Yeah, okay. So we're going to need a word for chicken. Now the question is, I think we need to consult the documentation, the world building documentation. Because there is something. Oh no, this is not the right one. Chicken. We have an animal like a chicken in here somewhere. Pukak. All right, so we don't have chickens ancestrally in the Justamija in the Justamija realm, do we? In the chicken poem, Yarito says there's a word for it. That's inland of Eilif. But I'm wondering if we took this from Furach. All right, let's see. Yeah, this is a loan from Pukak, something like that. Furach. I'm wondering if something that's introduced to the Justamija would have a so if chickens or Pukak are not from the Urheimat of the Qal people, or at least in the area where Justamija was spoken, do we want to have chicken as a proverbial animal? I don't think so. So we can do something else. Use seed eater. Okay, yeah, I like that. Seed eater. Okay, let's take a look. See what we have. Do we have anything for eat? We do. Fach. And we need something for seed, which I doubt we have. So let's use one of our new words. One of our new words, which we've taken. We need a word for seed. Maybe chomi, so something like chemifach or chemifach, something like that. Chemifach. That could be a seed. So seed eater. And maybe it's not a chicken per se. Maybe it's some other kind of animal. Why am I always clicking around to random things? So I guess this would be chemivach. Chemivach. Because we have that intervocalic voicing. And let's get that with suffix. So what did we use? What did we use for with on the nouns? Pa. Right. Okay. So then let's see what we have in Justamija. It is pa as well. Okay. So back to this. Qanamu chimivach pa. So this is some either small bird, or I'm seeing a great suggestion in the chat from Grimaldi, I think, that it could be a mouse, and that makes sense. Why don't we do something like this? When owls and mice live together. I like that suggestion because these are things that would always be at odds, right? All right. So qanamu chimivachpa. And then we need some verb for live. Let's see if I can get this out of the way, and maybe we can put this over here. There we go. This is a better setup, I think. Live. Do we have anything like live or dwell? Somane. Sure, let's do it. Oops. And the past. How did we do the past? Was it just reduplication? I seem to recall some reduplication. Somane is our root. Then we need the conditional one. Let's take a look. What is the conditional one going to be? we have a cool somane proto form somane. So conditional 1 somane tohwe in the proto language, and in Justamija, rather than go through the sound changes, we can just put tuch onto it. Somane duch. And past. I'm pretty sure we have some sort of reduplicative past here. Yes, okay. So kalamu chimivach pas so somane duch. So somane duch. Okay, sorry. Sumani. Sumani is the protoform, but somane is the call form, the Justamija. Cool. Cooliulio. Okay, and why is this all so weird? All right, Colin, struggle with Google Docs time. Remove space after paragraph. Is that it? Or is it... Why are there big spaces in between these things? Does anyone know? No, okay. Who knows? But you just press normal text and it's all good. So let's get these back into a more sensible order. Once upon a time. There we go. More standard order there. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Hydrate and stretch. We're getting a hydrate and stretch suggestion coming in. I think we should obey that. I'm going to put in a cut here. So important, especially when we're back in familiar environments. We're back in a familiar environment, I should say. And the temptation is to let our guard down because there aren't gigantic ice cream elephants stalking us, and there aren't ghosts opening doors behind us. But that's exactly when they get you, because you let your guard down, you stop hydrating, you stop stretching, and that's when everything falls apart. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to take a break. We're going to hydrate and stretch. I think we will be back very shortly. See you next time, YouTube. All right, friends. I am going to take that advice. I am going to legitimately hydrate and legitimately stretch. So I will birai, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, we are back. What were we doing? I see the chat. Yes, I got the thing backwards. Solmane is the protocol form. Sumani is the Justamija form. There we go. It's changed. I'll show you. Susumani. Susumanituch. Susumaniduk. Susumaniduk. I don't know. Kind of reminds you of the Phil Collins song Susurio. But that's probably more of a me problem. All right, friends. I'll go back here and we can chat a bit before we go in. Yes. How has everyone been doing? For me, there has been... It's been a whirlwind. Packing up after a long stay on a different continent and getting everything here. And then once I got here, to do all the things that I'd put off when I was packing, preparing, and traveling. And heavens to Murgatroyd, it's not been easy. But we are here. We are good. We are cold, I think, is one way to describe it. But we can wear sweaters again, and this is a good thing. I like flowered shirts, as you know, but sweaters are, I think, just a little bit better. To answer some questions from the chat, yes, Lenavilef is the only sibling language to Justamija. But there are others. We just don't have much detail about them. Oh, cool. Dayala Singh is taking a sociolinguistics course on heritage languages. Very cool. Yes, I miss taking classes. But I get to give them now. I get to teach them, which is kind of half as good. In some ways, it's twice as good, though. But yeah, I don't know. Classes are fun. Classes are fun, especially when you take away the less fun aspect, like having to mark homework or be marked on homework, and exams and that kind of thing. Just the learning. You know, some people say it's the giving. Some people say it's the getting. It's not. It's the learning. All right. So, I think, let's see if Lucy's around. Right. Do we need to change anything, Lucy? No, I'm seeing no. Okay. So we're not going to change anything. So we can just jump back in and get back to work. All right, friends. I'm going to wait for 1 or 2 seconds to see if that donkey brings in any new messages. Otherwise, I will jump back into the side webcam and we'll get back to work. Sweater versus flower shirt war. Yeah, we have. We just need a political compass, a Friends of the Schwa political compass, where it's soup versus stew and flower shirt versus sweaters. That tells you all you need to know about someone. All right. Donkey, where are all the messages? There we go. Okay. I had stew for dinner last night. Yeah, it was good. That's another downside about the hot weather. You feel weird having stew. It just feels odd. I don't know, having this. It feels like you need cold weather. It can't be above 20 degrees Celsius if you're going to have stew. That's the one downside, but it applies doubly so to soup. So I don't think that's a deciding factor. All right, enough nonsense. Let's get back to the good jazz, as we say. YouTube, welcome back. We are working on Justamija Qal, the language where all this malarkey began, and we are working on a little folktale. We've so far got Once Upon a Time done. So if that tells you anything about our pace, but that's all right. We learned a lot along the way. So without further ado, let's jump in and get over to the side webcam where we have the start of our story. and we thing. It's called what, air castles? Something like that. So we'll translate this into Justamija. Oh, there. Here we go. Here's the chat. Anti-soup and Stella. You know, it's tough to live in Canada without being pro sweater. You got a whole good 6, 7, 8 months of the year where you're surrounded by the stuff. All right. Then let's Squain strong soup, middle sweater. Far soup, moderate sweater. That's right. Okay. All right. Enough soup talk. Let's this little thread. Anyway, let's get back to work. So we have once upon a time, literally when owls lived with mice. That's a good first clause. So there was a little lad, a little boy. So for this we need, and let's just format this so we're consistent. There was a little boy. We need something like little, and then what did we call it? There's a name in Justamija grammar for this sort of thing. It's the attributive. Yes, the attributive form of the verb, boy, and then whatever we use for existentials. So we need to figure that out. So we had a few words. Let's we used himi for seed. So I'm just going to write these down so we know. Hwami to himi. I just want the text, please. This could be the start of our little dictionary at the end. Maybe I'll even put in dictionary. And we'll format this along the lines of the Quack dictionary. Himi for little and hidi for boy. Well, we've got himi for seed already, but we can definitely use hidi for boy. So let's do that. So we've got our proto-hwami, our proto-hwiti. Never want that pace with formatting. It's literally never happened in my life. Boy. Great. Okay, so then we need something. I almost feel like hidi is a good. Himi is also a good word for little. These are good. Siamaj. Sakainzi. Sakainzi, rather. Does the audio sound off? I certainly hope the audio doesn't sound off. Let me know. Let me know if there's an issue. If anyone else is experiencing that. But maybe, okay, so hear me out on this one. Himi means seed, but what if we have some semantic drift? And it also means little. Because what's something that's little but a seed? So let's see. Hwami, seed. Himi, little. Or hwami, seed to himi, little. And then himivach has preserves the old meaning of himi, which is seed. Himivach, seed eater or mouse. And then Huami, seed, going to himi, little, would be the new meaning. That's kind of cool. So himi. And then we need to add the attributive, which will be something like himizi. Himizi. Let's make sure. Himi, attributive, himizi. Yes. So, himizi, boy. Himizi hidi. Himizi hidi. Got to get this a little farther back in the mouth. Himizi hidi. And then we need our existential. What is our existential? Do we have one? I don't think we have one. Yeah, we just jumped into the story without any existentials in the Chaska Papayawi. I believe it's Payawi because Justamija has the stress pattern of Latin exactly. So let's see if we have an existential. We do not. So we could always take our classic strategy of just taking the have verb and make it into an existential. And we don't have a have verb. So let's see, what do we have? A copula? What do we have? Do we have to be? Hum. All right. Well, I'm happy with making hum serve as an existential. I think maybe we've been overusing the have to existential pathway. So maybe it's time we use a be to existential pathway. Chuchum. Chimisi. Chimizi. Let's do the whole thing. Chimizi chidi chuchum. Not bad. So then the full sentence. Qalnamu chimifachpa susumaniduch. Chimizi chidi chuchum. That's a lot of ch. Okay, there was a little boy. Once upon a time, there was a little boy who was on his way to church. Okay, we're going to have to change some culturally specific stuff here. We don't have a ton of notes about Justamija's culture. We did have some in the Lunadhailif. Lots of talk of the false owl, this kind of thing. The proverbs of the blessed ones of the owl. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff going on having to do with owls and false owls and true owls and witch owls. So we'll need somewhere for people to get together and talk about owls. So let's have a word for temple, or a word that can become temple. What would be a good source for this word? Do we have something like sacred or holy? An assembly? Yeah, we could make like Greek. So let's do that. Let's try that. Let's make a word like coming together, which ends up being assembly. Mimna. And we have this. Okay, maybe tell me if this is too Indo-European. But what if we have this sort of thing? So mimna come pa with. So normally pa is a suffix that goes on nouns, but what if we did something like this? Literally with come, which would be something like assemble, and then we can put a suffix on that. He was on the way to the thing. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, and this doesn't need to be specifically, oops, a bit loud. It doesn't need to be specifically something we would consider religious. It just needs to be a place where people go. So we could have this, pamimna, and then do we have a word for, we don't have a suffix for a place where something happens, or do we? We do have that, we do have this substantive, which is, it would be something like pamimnak. So this would be like the assembly. Pamimnak. I kind of like the look of that. Another thing we can do is, ship's suggestion. We can just call it the thing, which is a very Germanic idea that the assembly is literally the thing. This is what it was called. And still, I believe in Iceland, it's still called some derivative of thing. Let's see, do we have a word for thing? Yagam. So let's turn this into a new sentence. He was on his way to question mark. I'm just catching up on the chat because we just got a new delivery from the chat donkey. Yes, you're right. Res Publica also has that etymology. Pamimnak does sound very Inuktitut, and for that reason, I kind of think we should keep it. So let's do that. So to the gathering, we can say, I think we're not totally clear on what they're gathering for, but it's a gathering of people. So let's get our Justamija grammar, and we have something like a whether we want to put this as an accusative. I think we should call this an accusative because the accusative has its origin in verbs of motion if you look way back to protocol. So I think to would have to be something like ihi, pamimnachihi, pamimnachihi, something like that. Pamimnachihi. I don't love that chichi at the end. It's kind of unpleasant for me to say, but maybe we can simplify it to e after Q's. So instead of saying mistachihi, we could just have mistachi. I think that's a bit better than epenthesizing. There we go. To save us all from having to hear that again. All right, so let's make sure this goes onto the right side. Paminaki. I think in our lexergy we take the uvular stop and voice it, but to r, but I kind of don't want to. I'd kind of rather keep it. So where does that happen? Oh yeah. So the uvular stop, when it voices, it turns into a r. Paminari. Maybe. Paminari. This also feels very Inuktitut. So let's say gathering accusative. And we'll call this. So pa plus mimna plus q with come nominalization. Dremaldi, thank you. Make a note of deleting. Make a note of deleting he. Where is it? So for C final and for V final, we have nothing, yeah, but this is apparently falling out. Vocative nothing, he, inam, nam, ifu, fu, pin, ipin, pa, apa, no, sorry, pa, mu, mi, mu, mami. I think that's probably a mistake. So these are all the same. Great. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat, for reminding me. Good. Okay, so we have our official endings here. Right. He was on his way to the gathering. Okay, so to the gathering. I almost want some kind of like going construction. So I think this is going to be our conditional one. Or maybe our continuative, which gives us like an and. So he went to the gathering and. Which I think we can just use our go verb, which we don't have. Friends, why don't we have a go verb? This is something. What does Linathylev have? You know what? Actually, let's ignore Linathylev. Let's say this is, if Linathylev has a go verb, we're going to have a different root in Justamija. So what is it going to be? What is it going to be? Do we have anything in the proto language? Go. We do. We have li. Okay, well, we can deal with that. And because it's the verb to go, I expect it'll be irregular. So we can derive it here. Li. This is where Linathylev came from. All right, cool. Let's go back to proto-grammar. Let's go back to our verb form generator. Li. So we need lichupa. What does it become? Liba. Okay, so this is something like go and. Quain, we can stack cases, indeed. Indeed we can. There was some provision made for that. What were they? What were the... We did have explicitly... yes. So you can stack... You can't stack primary cases, which again end up getting leveled out into nothing in Justamija, but you can stack these so-called postpositional cases. And it should say hiti instead of hidi. You're right. You're right. Okay. So, qadnamu chimivachpa susumaniduch chimizi chidichuchum paminachi liba. Cool. So this is nice. This is this nice SOV structure where you just have this kind of every so often a verb comes around and it tells you how it's related to to what comes later. So owl with mouse live when little boy existed, period. Gathering going, he to a clearing arrived when. This is what we're going to get into. So a clearing in the forest. So let's make this forest locative, clearing accusative, which we already have is mimna, and then we need, oops, so we need past, come, I just thought of something. I kind of would not like to mark tense on verbs that are not finite. Or rather, verbs that are not main. I don't know if that's a good idea. It's something I'm thinking about. Like, I don't want to mark it liliba. I'd like to have this as a non-finite form. Rather, to say it another way, I would like these forms to be non-finite. So, not marking tense. Clearing, clearing... It's very English just here because it's an English word. I mean, we could say grove or space, something like that. I don't know if we want to, okay, so I'll put it this way. We definitely don't want to import all of the specific sense delineations of the word clearing, but we could say grove or maybe something like that. Where was I? So 1. So mimnaduch. So we need forest, locative, grove, accusative, come, conditional 1. All right, are we ready? Let's do it. Do we have any of these words? This is the... Yeah, meadow's a good translation as well. A forest, an in the forest meadow. I really like that, actually. Let's see what we have. We need forest, which we don't have. I'm sure we don't have meadow. So we need both of those. Let's take a look at what we were given by the chat earlier. So we have purum and mayi. And yalzi. any of those sound particularly forest-like or meadow-like to you, chat? Okay, let's keep it together. Google Docs, please. It just doesn't want to. All right, whatever. Just we're not going to be copying it, I guess. It's just the way it is. Simple. All we need to do is just copy that. Okay, I'm going to get stuck on this for a second. Copy. Paste without formatting. I don't know why it does this. I'm not clicking that button, that's for sure. Okay, now it decides to do it. You know, chat, I gotta... Really? Google Docs? Really? Okay, hey, more stuff from the donkey. Burro. Ah, yes, that's nice. Okay. So let's call Yalzi the meadow and Puhu the forest. So oops, I'm back over here. I was gonna rant to you, but yeah, that's better not. So Yalsu is going to become Yalzi forest. All right. So, and oh no, sorry, I said Yalzi meadow, Puhu forest. All right. So let's write them in. Yalzi. Oops, these go on the other side. Yalzihi. Look at this. The sentence is shaping up. The sentence is shaping up. My oh my. All right. So we need our locative back to the grammar. Mu. Puhumu yalzihi mimnaruch. He caught sight of a fox. Fox, accusative. See. And I want to give us some kind of I want to respect the fact that it's saying he caught sight of. So he saw to completion the fox. So let's think of how we might do this in a clever way. Maybe we can get a verb like get, or we can do a sort of a serial verb construction with get. That was the hydration. The stretch will be coming in a few minutes. I don't think we have a get, do we? Get, catch. No, we do not. That is a shame. That is a shame, and the chat donkey is not delivering your messages, so I'm sure you have all sorts of great ideas that I just can't see. So what I'm going to do, given that, is I'm going to just put a little cut here. So YouTube, come back next time. We will do a bit more. Until then, I don't know, stay frosty. Do people still say that? And we will see you again soon. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Here. Okay. Finally, the chat arrives. Arrive, receive, get. Do we have? I'm just gonna look this up. Receive. Yeah, we do. We have suhuta. Arrive, reach. We do have reach. It's kuhuli. So let's. I'll save it for the next segment. That's a good suggestion. I will return forthwith, going to do the stretch component of hydrate and stretch, and we will see you soon. Birai. And we're back. Hello, everyone, once again. Hydration and stretching accomplished. Let's see if we can jump back into this and get more than like a sentence or two done today. All right, so that means I have to do a bit of a YouTube re-intro. YouTube, welcome back. We are working on Justamija Qal as before, and we are translating a fable about castles in the sky or something like that. Sounds great. So I guess let's just jump back in, shall we? Let's get back in and let's do it. So where we left off, we were trying to come up with a way of saying caught sight of, and the chat had some great ideas. Among them, something like reach seeing. So let's do this. We need our see nominal. We need the see verb. Then we need to nominalize it. Then we need to make that accusative, and then we need reach, which will be in the past, and that would do it. All right. The lad and the fox. Yeah, the lad and the fox, definitely. Air castles, lad and the fox, all good stuff. So that means it's going to be something hidi, something pahidi. We don't know what fox is yet, but we're about to find out because we need to make it up. Right, so we need to fill this in. So kuhuli, what does it become? Lexogy, if you please. Kili. Okay. Kigili. Reached. And then we need our verb to see, which is in Justamija. I think we actually lose it in Justamija. We don't have this Osasa root. What happens in Justamija? I seem to recall this. What happens in Justamija? We don't. We use I give. We use I give, don't we? Mai for socks. Did I say that? That sounds good. That sounds good, friends. That sounds good. Mai fox. So this is Maiba Hidi. All right. So then let's get Mai Hi. And then I remember we use give I for see in Justamija, which should be in one of our texts. Wanfi. Right. And then we need to nominalize that. So that would be wanfidoch, wanfidogi. Mairi, wanvidori, gigili. Oh, this voicing is hard work. Ralph Alcao, hello. And I guess the question is, what do we want to do with objects of nominalizations? Typically, we make these genitive in the other languages, like in Birai. But I almost feel as if we should keep them as accusative here, just to be different. So this is really more of the verbal element is still strong within these nominalizations. Okay, so Mairi, wanvidori, gigili. Done. Taco 93. Welcome back. Quain. Okay. All right. He caught sight of a fox who was lying on top of a big stone fast asleep. So our relatives should precede their head noun. So we need to put this in advance. So let's do this one. Let's say lie and then a trib. Let's get this in the right order. So this is something C. And then stone genitive. Oops, wrong line. Stone genitive, but I know we basically lost the genitive. So stone top locative, lying. And we could do something like sleep. Our and. So what did we call this? We had a fancy name for it. Continuative. So sleep, continuative, fast asleep. I don't know if we need something specifically to translate fast asleep. Dremaldi, thank you for joining us. Have a good night. So let's do sleep continuative. So pa. So sleep pa. Do we have stone top? We need a locative marker, which is mu, and then lie, which is C. So this is what we're looking at. Let's see if we have any of the words. Sleep, no. Stone, no. Do we have rock? No. Top, no. Head, no. Lie, no. So we have very little. Taco 93. Yeah, some reduplication would be fun there. So let's have some intensification, reduplication. Let's have that be full reduplication. Because we're using partial reduplication for past tense. So we need some new words. Let's see, friends, what we have. We have puchum, which looks very close to puku. We might want to... we might not want to use anything so close. Let's say pokwoma turns into puku. What happened to the M? This is cool. What happened to the M here? Well, it's puchum, but puchumu, often you're saying in the forest, so the M gets reanalyzed as part of the locative and not part of the root, and so that's why we lose the M. Cool. That sounds fun. So we need the following things. We need some word meaning top. We need some word meaning lie. We need some word meaning sleep. We need some word meaning stone. And I don't think... oh, no, here we have pida for rock, so that's fine. We can do that. So let's use that. All this is going to have to get organized at some point, but I just want to keep going as we are for now, because that's not the most fun thing in the world to look at. So sleep, we don't have top. We do have a top here. Ama. It's not in Justamija yet, so we're going to have to do a bit of sound change. Ima. Good. Ima. imamu. And all we need are lie and sleep. All right, friends. Let's see if the chat has any ideas. So here's the phonology. I'm going to pause here and let you come up with some forms. So here are our vowels, here are our semivowels, here are our consonants, here are our vowels. Our syllable structure is strict CV in protocol. And we have a morpheme structure constraint that states that morphemes must be fewer than 4 syllables. So no 4-syllable morphemes or more. Luli for sleep. Quatoma. Okay. We have some protoforms. Luli, quatoma, fahwe. Great. I'm writing down all of these for another moment. Tosehu. All right. We should be able, may I intervene? We should be able to get some good uvulars in some of these forms. Okay, let me just get the IPA in place so Lexergy won't complain. Please. Please. Quain. Huhu. All right, let's do it. Let's put these in Lexergy. And let's... Okay, here we have Lili, Kaduma, Fari, Tuzi, and E. That's amazing. That's amazing. Huhu, which becomes E. I almost feel like we should keep this. This is fun. So let's say our root for our sleep is E. Because why not? Just because that's so funny. Huhu, E. Sleep. So then we're going to have Iiba. Iiba. And let's use one of the other roots for our lie. And I think, what did they look like? I love this Fari. Let's use that one. Farizi. I did reduplicate E. So, here's the sentence. Iiba pida Iiba pida imamu Farizi. Very good. Very good. Let's see, can we finish this paragraph so that the fox did not know the lad had seen him? All right. So this is a result clause. What do we have for result clauses? Really nothing. Really nothing. What can we use for result clauses? Let me just see if I can look up some grammaticalization. Pathways. Result. All right, so we have resultatives coming from the verb to come. From the directional marker down, from Give. That could work. That could work. Let me... Yeah, let's see if we can take give and use it as a result. Construction. Where do I look up these grammaticalization pathways? There's a book called The World Lexicon of Grammaticalization, which I don't want to show on stream because, so I use that. And it's a good book. You should get it if you are interested in these things. It's a big, it's a big lexicon where you can look up the source or the target for all sorts of grammaticalization pathways. Very cool. All right. I'm out of practice. I feel like my voice needs a little bit of extra help today. All right, so let's use this give verb here. We're going to have to repeat the this verb to lie because it's now so far away and I don't want to keep nesting before we get to fox. So let's say thus lie continuative give. Thus lying, he gave I'm struggling to figure out how this grammaticalization pathway would work for us. Interesting question. I'm not seeing anything that makes too much sense for our for this language. Let's just use an independent particle then, which can come from a verb meaning to give, but because I don't want to keep stacking things up to the left. Boy, him, see. I think what we're going to want is something like this. So our nominalization, the substantive marker. Thus he lay, with the result that the boy, him, seeing. So something like this. No neg. Oh, this is ugly and doesn't flow very well for me. I'm going to try and do something in between a literal translation and a free translation. He lay thus with the result that the boy seeing him he did not know. Something like that. Resulting in the fact that this is roughly the structure that we're going for. Does that make sense? I don't know. Sorry, I've ignored the chat for a few minutes because I've been trying to work this out. Oh, friends, my voice is getting a bit rough. It's been too long since I've doing this, and I've been teaching all day until now. So I fear I may have to wrap things up a bit early so that things don't get damaged. But let's finish this sentence, and then we'll call it a day. Yes. All right. So I'm going to keep that there for now. So let's see. What do we need? We have... Do we have thus? No. So we need a thus. Which I kind of like kaduma for. Kaduma. And fariba. And then the result we can give give. We did have an old word give. Oh, this is a good one. Hako. To give off or emit. I like that one. Agu. So I'm just going to write it down here. Introduces result clause. As you can see, this is a bit of an exception to the strict SOV. We do have some kind of conjunctions that appear to the left. So thus he lay agu, and then hidi, the boy. What are our pronouns? So, socha. Oh, this is the proto-language, excuse me. Lu. Lu. We just have this seemingly indeclinable lu. But maybe we have luhi. Luri. I don't know. Did we have... can anyone see anywhere where we decline this? This lu? I don't think so. Maybe we should just leave it. All right. And what's our wanfi? Wanfiduch? Seeing. Everyone's still talking about how to reduplicate the verb to sleep. All right. So qaduma faripa agu khidi luwan viduch. And then not know. He didn't know. So we have a negative in... Ah, we don't have a negative. So how have we been doing negatives? We don't have a negative. Goodness gracious. Do we really not have a negative? Interesting. Where are our texts? We don't have a single negative in here, do we? I'm astounded. All right, we need a negative. Let's look up a... I'm going to over here. Hi, everyone. I'm going over here, and I am going to look up a negative grammaticalization pathway. Negation. All right. Negation. Yeah, lack, fail. Hard to... There is a negative in Lenathyleff. I'm wondering if we should... Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Let's see if we can use something from Lenathyleff. Lenathyleff, help us. Moof. Moof, where does this come from? Well, we have this N. Let's see. I don't know. This is all a mystery to me. This is great. I haven't seen any of this stuff in a dog's age. So, proto-grammar, do we have anything? Yeah, we don't have anything negative here. Wow, I'm just shocked. This is something. All right, well, I can't remember this. I can't remember what we did for negation in Lenathyleff. It seems that we have something, that we have a negative imperative at least. Other than that, I can't find anything. Sooth is negative. I don't know. This is a mystery. So I think we are free to just completely make something up, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to completely make something up, and we can just come up with a verb like lamak, which sounds negative to me. I don't want someone to say lamak to me. This can be a verb meaning not to be. Oops. Oh, it's already. My apologies. It's already in Justamija. So let's return to the text. And lamak is going to be our negative word. And it's just going to be indeclinable, lamak. We could make it into a verb and have it do all that stuff, but let's just put it before the verb and for once do something simple. So this will be negative. And then we need our verb to know, which we don't have. Osasa. Yeah. Let's just use a new root for to know. Let's just use a new root for to know. Where is it? Where is everything? My brain is turning off. Let's say walanka, because we haven't used that before. Wawalanka, lamak. Lamak. What is this? What is this business? Wawalanka, lamak. Okay, so here's the final sentence. Qaduma fari pa agu khidi luwan fiduch wawalanka lamak. and the stress pattern should be lamak, but we're going to say that this is an exception because it's cool. Lamak. And that, my friends, is the end of the first paragraph of this folktale. So, friends, this has been a great deal of fun. I fear that my brain and voice are about to turn off, so I'm going to stop here. So YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. This has been a pleasure as always, and we will see you back next time when we will work on either Justamija or one of our many other Conlangs. So do come back soon. If you're not part of the Discord, I do suggest checking it out down below. Otherwise, we will see you next time. Okay, friends. I am absolutely exhausted. I hope that that you've had a good time here today. I certainly have, but my voice and my brain are crying out to heaven, saying, "Please give us a little rest." So I think I will do that. We will return next week. I think there's been some mischief afoot in the Discord about collaborative languages, and so maybe that might come into play next week. You never know. Otherwise, we'll let you know in advance. We'll plan out the next few streams soon and give you some things to look forward to. So until next time, everyone, thank you very much. I'm gonna go collapse. So if you don't hear from me, that's why. All right. See you next time.